Hey everybody, how you doing today? I am here at Chippers Island Base Camp on a very gray, chilly, overcast day here in New England. And it's not really cooperative weather for what I want to do today, which is a mod to my Travato 59K. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Mike Chipperini of Chippers Island Adventures. And if you haven't yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. So, as I was saying in the intro, one of the things about the Ram ProMaster, I believe it's the Ram ProMaster. To be sure, I am not certain, but I believe it's the Ram ProMaster, has a bit of a battery drawer on it. So what happens is the chassis battery, if this van sits for a little bit, the chassis battery tends to draw down. For instance, the other day I hadn't driven it in a couple days, and I got in and my battery level for the chassis was 12.1. Now I normally leave my rig plugged in. As you can see, I'm hooked up to shore power. It's just 15 amp. It goes into my house, but it works great. But that doesn't take care of the chassis battery. So I've been researching. I'm not sure, like I said, if it's the Ram side or the Winnebago side. It could be the stereo on there because there's a lot of memory going on in the stereo. So I'm not sure, but there is a fix to it. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and hook up a portable solar panel to my battery with a quick disconnect. So let's go check out what I have so far. Okay, so I hope the lighting's not bad here, but this is what I bought. I bought a Sonaplex 20-watt solar battery charger. Now this is a trickle charger that works off of solar panel and then is wired into the battery. So here's what we have. What it came with, this is some wires, and we'll get into that in a minute. The 20-watt solar panel, but on the back, you can see there's like a trickle charger indicator, or what it says exactly is the charge controller. And you got a couple battery hookups here. So you can go ahead and hook it up to a battery, just like you do with regular jumper cables with these, I'm going to call them alligator clips. But in this bag, and I'm going to open this up, there is this cable here is what I really want. So what you can do is permanently attach this cable. Here's a positive and a negative. You can permanently attach those to the battery and then disconnect the solar panel when you're not using it, or connect it when you need it. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a little bit and see what we have there. Okay, so where the battery is located is right in front of the front seat. Now I just removed the carpet from above it, and now I've removed the lid that goes over it. And I'm going to show you what we have. So here you see the lid that I've tucked aside, and here you see the battery. Okay, and this cover goes over the battery terminal like that. So what I'm going to do is remove the cover and just set that aside. Now what I just found out is this is kind of loose, so I'm going to tighten this up, my terminal screw. But you can see there's additional screws here, and I'm just going to go ahead and attach. I'm going to take this off and attach my lead to this, and then I'll attach another lead over here. So then I'll run, you'll see, once I get everything set up here, it'll be looking pretty good. But the first thing I'm going to do is tighten up this screw back here because it is certainly loose. I was able to pull that right off, and I want a better connection than that. Okay, I don't know if you can see this too well. So what I did is I put the positive lead under the nut here. This is a free nut, and it's one of the terminals, so I put it there. I also tightened up the nut that goes actually on the terminal. I don't know if you can see it, it's a little bit dim. And then over here I put the negative on here. I sized the nut. I'm going to get a couple nuts for these just in case I ever want to put something extra on. And now I'm running the whole lead, which is right here, and I'm just going to run it up the back side like so. But I am going to get an extension so I can just tuck all this in. So for now, I'm just going to run it up the back side. It'll come out under the cup holders over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and close all this up, and it doesn't take much. In order to close it up, you just go ahead and take this cover, put it on there. Should go right on there. Should click. There it is. So it's on there good. You know, make sure everything's on very well. And my wires are tucked out of the way. That's good. Now we'll go ahead and clean up here and close this up, and hopefully I'll have that pigtail, as I call it, coming out over, and it should be able to fit under the cover, no problem. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've got this thing wired up about as far as I can do it for today, only because I can't really test it because it's pouring rain outside. So what I did is I have everything all neatened up now. As you can see, I have the solar panel sitting here on the seat with the solar controller on it, as you can see right here. So what we'll do is tomorrow we'll get out here. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day. So tomorrow I'll go ahead and continue this project. I think that would be best, because then we can get an accurate reading. And right now my battery level is 12.4, so that's not too bad. But the other day I went and got in my rig and it was 12.1, and I don't like having it at that level. I do have another cable on the way that will be an extension cable, and I'm going to use that, and that way there I can just plug it in to the solar panel and unroll it. And I may end up getting even a shorter one. We'll see how it works when I do get it. But the bottom line is I'll continue this project tomorrow because of lack of sunlight today. The battery, due to the draw on these Ram Pro Masters, will probably be down a point tomorrow. We'll say it'll be 12.3. And with the sun out tomorrow, we'll find out if I can get solar through the windshield or if I have to set it outside. If I have to set it outside, the solar panel does come with this bracket that you can mount, so it acts as a leg in back of the solar panel, so you can put it on the ground, angle it toward the sun. So let's go ahead and kill this video for today, and I'll get back to you tomorrow. So hey everybody, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday was pouring rain, so I couldn't do a lot outside, but today is bright sunshine with a little bit of cloud cover. So we're going to be able to test this solar panel right now. All right, so what I did is I just leaned it up against the windshield for right now, but you can see I am getting 4 green lights, which I assume I'm getting good reception. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it inside and hook it up to the pigtail that I put in yesterday. Now I do want to make a note here. I have a 3-foot extension cable on order right now. I thought it was coming today. It's actually coming in a couple days, but I still have plenty of slack here, I believe, on the cord itself for me to connect this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and we'll see what we're looking at. But before I connect it, let's go ahead and see what the battery level is right now. The battery level on the chassis is 12.1. So what we're going to do is connect this cable and then put the solar panel on the dash, and then we'll monitor the battery chassis level. Hopefully this goes well. Right now, I just have the solar panel resting on the dash inside, and that sun is almost directly overhead, of course at an angle because it's late in the season, but it's not noontime here yet. That's my point. So if I follow the cord down, you can see that I am getting indicator lights, and the indicator lights are flashing up to about 3, and it is telling me it is let's see, in the sunlight, and connect the battery. So I'm going to have to read what those indicators mean. Without being plugged in, it's right now reading 4 bars, which is 100%, and in the sunlight. Which is wild, because when I connect it to my battery terminal, it tells me that it needs to be plugged into the battery. And it's not in the sunlight. So I'm wondering what's going on with this thing. And when I check the voltage, I am getting about 44 volts out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little further investigation here. All right, so right now I'm a little bit perplexed because I'm not sure how these indicator lights should light up on this solar controller. So I went ahead and connected the solar panel to my Jeep battery, and I get basically the same reading. Now, hooking it up to a voltmeter, I could see it says about 20.7 volts. And looking at the instruction manual, it says when you measure the open voltage circuit of the solar charger in strong sunlight, the voltage is 21 to 22 volts. When it is connected to the battery, the operating voltage is 14 to 15. So maybe I'll check that next. The bottom line is it's working great. I just don't quite understand the indicator lights. The indicator light saying connect to the battery keeps showing as red, and I'm thinking it should be green, you know, and I don't know the answer here. The volt, everything's working fine until I connect it to the battery, but the battery on the chassis, which began at 12.1, let's go inside the rig, I'll show you something. So if I press the battery level here, you can see the chassis battery is now 12.5, 12.6. I'll bet if I leave it on there, it'll even go higher. Because when I came in, it was higher than that. And then I disconnected and it dropped down to about 12.6, which is about the right voltage for the chassis battery. And that is a big difference than 12.1 this morning. So, and I'm talking, that wasn't that long. That was only a few minutes. So I'm not sure what's going on here with those indicator lights. I'm going to play with it a little bit more. Okay, so here's my assessment. Right now, that battery is being charged. If I look up here, you can see right now it's saying 12.8 volts. If I disconnect the solar panel from the battery right now, it'll probably drop to 12.6, which pretty much means the battery's topped off. But for whatever reason, the controller is not really operating as it should. But the whole circuit is doing what it's supposed to do. So what I did is I sent out an email to Sunapex, however they pronounce it, and I'll see if I get something back. But I'm seriously thinking about sending this back to Amazon because it's not working as it should. There is another one I'm interested in, and I'll make that decision tonight if I do that. I'm going to give them a little time to get back to me, but I'm not giving them too much time. So I did see one of the reviews that another individual had the same problem. Now, I hooked this setup up to my Jeep. I hooked it up to the van. I did all kinds of different ways of doing it. The voltage that it puts out when not connected to the battery was perfect. The voltage that it put out when connected to the battery was perfect according to the attached literature. So the only thing that isn't working properly is the indicator lights on that controller. So that's about it today. Otherwise, my battery is being topped off. I have good sun out there right now. It does work better from the outside, but it does work sitting on the dash. So I can still use it on the dash. It just doesn't work as well through the window as it does without going through the window. So that's all I got to say about this right now. If you like this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel. All the best to all, and happy adventuring.